This video is about why some people can function on 5 or 6 hours of sleep and still feel sharp, while others sleep for 8 and wake up exhausted, and how you can shift into the first group without burning yourself out. If you're tired of dragging yourself through mornings and promising that tomorrow you'll finally fix your sleep, this is the conversation that can change that pattern. You know the routine. You get into bed with every intention of sleeping early, but you tell yourself you'll just scroll for a minute. One video turns into 5. Midnight becomes 2 in the morning. Then the alarm goes off, your eyes feel dry, your head feels heavy, and your whole day starts with you already behind. And what makes it worse is seeing people online claiming they sleep 5 hours and still feel amazing, like they've cracked some code you never got access to. Broken cycles. Here's what almost nobody explains clearly. Sleep is not just about duration, it's about quality and timing. Your brain runs on cycles, not on simple clock hours. About every 90 minutes, it moves from lighter sleep into deep physical recovery and then into REM, rapid eye movement, where your brain processes memory, emotions, and learning. Deep sleep is where your body repairs itself, your immune system resets, and your energy stores rebuild. REM is where your mind clears out mental clutter and sharpens focus. When those cycles run smoothly, you can get meaningful recovery even in a shorter sleep window. But when they're constantly interrupted by stress, notifications, late-night work, caffeine, or irregular schedules, your brain never settles into those deeper stages for long. That's why someone can sleep 9 hours and still wake up feeling like they barely slept, while another person gets 6 and feels steady and alert. Hidden impact. And this is where real life gets affected. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it quietly changes how you think, how you react to stress, and how you make decisions. Studies have shown that sleep deprivation reduces attention, increases impulsive behavior, and weakens emotional control. In other words, when you're running on low-quality sleep, you're not just tired, you're more likely to overreact, procrastinate, and make choices you wouldn't normally make when rested. That spills into your work, your relationships, and even your finances. Yet most people still think the solution is simply forcing themselves into bed earlier. That sounds logical, but it ignores how the brain actually works. If your body clock isn't expecting sleep at that time, and your nervous system is still in alert mode, getting into bed early just means you lie there restless, checking the time, getting frustrated, and training your brain to associate your bed with stress instead of rest. Timing matters. Consistency matters more than almost anything else. When you fall asleep at roughly the same time each day, your brain begins preparing for sleep automatically. Hormones that promote rest start rising on schedule, and waking becomes more natural instead of shocking. Research from major sleep centers has shown that irregular sleep schedules shorten deep sleep and reduce its intensity, even if total sleep time looks decent on paper. That's why sleeping in late on weekends often makes Monday mornings feel worse, not better. Another thing most people misunderstand is how alarms affect how they feel in the morning. If your alarm goes off in the middle of deep sleep, your brain is yanked out of its most restorative stage. That's where heavy grogginess comes from, not just from being not a morning person. But if you wake closer to the end of a sleep cycle, your brain is already moving toward lighter sleep, and waking feels smoother. This is why 2 people can sleep the same number of hours and have completely different mornings. Evening signals. Even more powerful than timing, though, is what happens before you ever close your eyes. The last hour of your day is not neutral. It's a transition period where your nervous system decides whether it's safe to relax or whether it needs to stay alert. Heavy meals late at night keep your digestive system working when your body is supposed to be powering down. Stressful conversations, emails, or problem solving keep your brain in high-frequency thinking mode. Bright screens tell your brain it's still daytime, delaying the release of sleep hormones. When that last stretch of the evening becomes calmer and more predictable, sleep quality improves even if bedtime doesn't change much. Dimmer lights, slower activities, and simple routines tell your brain that nothing urgent is happening anymore. This is not about being dramatic or delicate, it's about biology. Your nervous system needs cues to shift gears. Morning reset. Morning habits matter just as much as evening ones. Many people wake up and immediately stare into a glowing screen in a dark room. That keeps their body stuck in night mode longer. But natural light early in the day is one of the strongest signals for setting your internal clock. Sunlight in your eyes tells your brain to shut off melatonin and increase serotonin and cortisol in healthy amounts, which improves alertness and mood. Even 10 minutes outside can make a noticeable difference in how awake you feel. Movement right after waking helps too. When you raise your heart rate, your body releases chemicals that increase focus and clear mental fog. This is why a short burst of activity can wake you up faster than scrolling through messages. It doesn't need to be intense or long. The goal is simply to remind your body that the day has started. True recovery caffeine is another quiet disruptor that most people underestimate. Caffeine doesn't give you energy, it blocks the chemical that makes you feel sleepy. That chemical builds up all day and is supposed to peak at night so you fall into deep sleep. When caffeine is still active in your system, and it can last 6 to 8 hours, it interferes with deep sleep even if you fall asleep easily. Research has shown that late caffeine intake can reduce deep sleep significantly, which means you wake up less restored even if you slept for a long time. Then there's the environment you sleep in. Cooler temperatures signal the body that it's time to rest. Darkness prevents your brain from thinking it's still daytime. Quiet allows your nervous system to stay relaxed instead of scanning for disturbances. These details sound small, but together they decide how much time your brain spends in the stages of sleep that actually repair you. Mental clutter is another major reason people struggle with sleep quality. When your mind is full of unfinished tasks, worries, and reminders, your brain keeps working in problem-solving mode. That keeps you in faster brain waves instead of the slower patterns associated with deep rest. Writing things down before bed works not because it solves the problems, but because it tells your brain it doesn't need to keep them active overnight. Here's the big shift most people need to make. Stop treating sleep like wasted time and start treating it like part of your performance system. In sports, no serious athlete skips recovery and expects to improve. But in everyday life, people treat exhaustion like proof of effort. They push late into the night, then wonder why their focus, discipline, and motivation keep falling apart. What actually works is protecting your sleep rhythm, calming your nervous system in the evening, and helping your brain wake naturally in the morning. When those pieces are in place, your sleep becomes more efficient. And when your sleep becomes more efficient, you don't need as many hours to feel human again. This is why some people can function well on 5 or 6 hours. It's not because they're superhuman. It's because their sleep is concentrated, consistent, and aligned with their body clock. Their brains are actually completing full recovery cycles instead of spending half the night half awake. And this is where life starts to change. When you wake up with clearer focus, your work improves, your patience improves, your decision-making improves. You stop reaching for constant stimulation and sugar just to get through the day. You stop feeling like every task requires willpower. Energy becomes something you build, not something you chase. The goal is not to brag about sleeping less. The goal is to wake up feeling like your brain actually reset. When that happens, your time becomes more valuable because you can use it properly instead of dragging yourself through it. One day, if you stick to this long enough, you'll notice something strange. You'll wake up before your alarm. Your mind won't be racing. Your body won't feel heavy. And you'll realize that you don't need more hours in the day. You need better recovery at night. When that clicks, sleep stops being the enemy of productivity and starts becoming the foundation of it.